Hey everybody, we are back. We're just waiting on aLive to be ready to go. It's going to be aLive versus TLO coming up next. This is going to be a brand new best of three. It's going to be a lot of fun too because we of course do love seeing both TLO and aLive play. But while you were not here for the last time they played in the finals of a Corsair Cup, TLO and aLive was like one of the best matches I got to cast in a long time, and a lot of it had to do with what TLO was doing. In fact, we even managed to coax TLO to come on stream for a small interview afterwards. All of that is on YouTube, so if you guys missed it, absolutely check it out. But there's a lot of, like, classic TLO moments. Really cool baneling control, really awesome strategies to bait and hit and all these things. But at the end of it, TLO did pay some credit saying, aLive's playing cross-server. He recognized that this wasn't the best condition for aLive to play in, etc. But I was still just like, but dude, it was so cool watching you do what you did.
Cool. I hope I get to see a glimpse of what happened.
I hope you do too. I hope everyone watching gets to. But as we get into New Gettysburg, spawning here on the bottom right side, we got the red Zerg, or excuse me, Terran, hailing from Korea. It's aLive.
In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, he is Liquid TLO.
All right. So once again, I think stats, etc., all these other things aside, like a lot of you guys would probably favor aLive going into this, but. And not even for the sake of the server. TLO in that little interview we did last time talked about how he just improved a lot after that Team Liquid boot camp they did. He had some really good talk sessions with Snoop discussing like things to improve on, things to change, and of course, when you watch TLO play, you can put question marks around like whether you value his macro, his micro. What I enjoy, though, is watching TLO always just make smart decisions. He's not someone who will often, if ever, over-dedicate. You won't see him going off of creep unless he's got a plan for it. And I think those are some of the aspects that make him such a strong Zerg player, opposed to just simply like, oh, good, he made a bunch of Ravagers and a couple of fungal growths. Nice skill, TLO.
Yeah, exactly. He is certainly one of the smart players. He's very well spoken when he does interviews, and he talks about it on his Twitter as well as I think he's like a couple of either blog posts or regular posts and seem good. Point is, everyone knows how well thought out he thinks about this game, basically, as opposed to just I feel like anyone else who either doesn't have a very good foreigner presence, shall we say, because it's really hard to actually note if the Koreans have anyone like TLO. Like Gumiho is creative. Sure, you can tag that line onto Gumiho, for instance, with his mech builds and whatnot. But have you ever talked to Gumiho about how he thinks about the game? No, because it's really hard just to speak English. But he might actually do the exact same thing. The point is, TLO, he really likes learning about the game. We know that for sure, and thinking about the game on a constant basis. He actually was kind enough to give a little bit of I guess tips and hints to me and a couple other casters a couple of days ago, which was I don't know, super nice of him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I had been brought along, I guess, as Fear Dragon was just are you interested, are you available at this time? And I was like, yeah, it was super early in the morning. And I almost said no, but TLO gave us an hour of his time and just was yeah, here's the things I think about in versus Terran versus Zerg versus Protoss. And it was super nice of him. But he's very interested in also I guess helping casters, because I know there was that thing he put on Twitter about casters. So it was me, Tempo, and Fear Dragon, I think. Yeah. But he was very nice, and learned quite a bit, I guess. We focused more on mech, unfortunately, which aLive probably won't play, but it's possible.
We have been seeing Major and a couple others pulling it out, trying to make it happen versus Zerg. I mean, I don't know if it's anywhere close to coming back in a fashion. Beast and a couple others I can think of have played it before, but whether it's good or not, that's a whole nother topic of discussion.
Yeah. That is certainly true. I mean, aLive's doing something that's really irregular on New Gettysburg, and something that TLO will definitely be able to scout. Okay, I was gonna say just scout based off what he sees, but he literally gets into the base and sees everything. So that's not quite supposed to happen. The Hellions, first of all, obviously supposed to be good at dealing with Lings, did not deal with them, and then his factory happened to be lifting at the time, as he was transferring over his second barracks. So that was, a mistake.
Seeing the barracks, seeing the stim, these are all great, but seeing the third CC, I think was the biggest scout there for the Lynx, just confirming that that was going to be the case, and this wasn't something where you had a couple extra barracks hidden in the back or anything like that. As you know, okay, well, he wouldn't be able to afford the CC if that's the case. So, well, aLive's going for something that's not super crazy on his side of the field. TLO's been able to read that and can now play accordingly. I'm not sure if TLO, by the way, is the type of guy to really hit a big all-in at any point, but right now we do see a lot of lings and no drones being made because he needs some way to deal with these Hellions.
Yeah, the Hellions aren't really meant to do a lot of damage. One already goes down, that kind of sucks, but only
Hold
building
the phone.
two.
He's still going into lings after this, though.
Oh, okay, well, he does. I mean, after getting such a secure scout, there's no misreading a literal scout into the base. You know that their production is only just getting ramped up. In fact, he only saw 2 barracks at the time, so he knows that there really was not a lot of production. The 3rd barracks is only just not getting its reactor, I believe. So that's not going to be a lot of Marines, but without banelings to break the wall, which aLive does put down, it's not going to amount to much. He's waiting on the baneling nests.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the wall itself is not going to be the easiest thing to break. Obviously, the focus goes up here towards the depots or the bunker, but the engineering base being down here, okay, they're a thicker, harder part of the wall to break, but they're also a pretty big target that needs to not die. The weapon upgrades are pretty huge for Terran.
Yeah. The baneling busts, okay, the SCV kind of scouted it. Like, to see so many lings, even though TLO tried to kind of hide most of them, I think it's still suspicious.
Well, the CC might see the rest of them.
Oh, there you go. Well, TLO, I don't think he... sorry, aLive, I don't think he needs bunkers necessarily. He does need to be well split. Okay, maybe he doesn't know. There he goes. All right.
Oh. I forgot I was going to swap. Counts.
Oh, it's the starter. Oh,
yeah. So the engineering base take quite a bit of damage. If TLO can't really get much done with this, he'll get both the engineering base for it, which is absolutely worth it. Bailey's still meandering around. They know they want to go off not on the buildings, but on the Marines, on any SUVs they can find. 3rd base set up too, and aLive is frankly just at a bit of a loss. There's not really a lot he can do. If he extends on here with the Marines, even with Stim, fighting against this army of TLO is going to be so tough. So just chipping away slowly at command center, killing refineries, really just screwing over aLive.
Yeah, but aLive, I mean... So he may or may not have had the immediate notice with the SCV, but he definitely noticed with the 3rd command center, right? Either way, I think his plan was to just do what he did. Like, pull back the Marines, pull back the SCVs. Because as long as he keeps the Marines in, like, a good number, he'll eventually get medevacs and combat shields, and he will have an amazing counter drop.
Maybe, but not if he loses all the Marines to the banelings. Nicely done, though, out of aLive to split as well as he did. Problem is, as we go through this, like, TLO, did he even do enough damage? Like, it was devastating, and he wrecked the natural base. Engineering base shut down. +1/+1 denied, but a 3rd CC was dropped. Mules were mining this entire time. I mean, aLive wasn't really super screwed by this. He just simply lost control of his natural, which is still a pretty big deal, don't get me wrong, but not game-endingly wrong.
I would say TL actually did not do enough damage by far. He actually canceled a lair that was building right before he decided to make all those banelings, so he's remaking it now. His upgrades are only slightly ahead on the carapace to the armor of aLive, even after killing the engineering base. He really has to continue doing damage and, like, holding strong.
There's no scouting on this, by the way. The Overlord didn't see it come in. He didn't see it unload, so full Marine unload with a baneling or with a Widow Mine on top of this. Not good for TLO. Who was going for Burrow, who was going to get those banelings out, who was looking to do those special tactics, but not given the opportunity if he dies first. So, a little bit rough, but aLive will be driven off.
TLO was able to get the mules in the 3rd base, I believe, which is why the SCV kill didn't pop out, because there's mostly mules, but he did halt mining for a bit there.
No, don't do this.
He's gonna do it. F you, man. Once again, finds a single SCV that just popped out.
Yeah, with Burrow finishing it, they'll be able to burrow underneath the command center. That'll force a scan to clean it up too, and that's no fun.
Yeah. The 3rd base, I mean, he does eventually want to have to secure this. TLO, though, I guess he could hold off on a while for securing that 3rd base, because TLO, yeah, he's on 4 bases. He's only been on 57 drones now. A couple more coming out, but
not close to that 70 count that we sometimes see out of players.
Yeah.
That Widow Mine shot, though, jeez, that reached.
Yeah, the 60 drone count's even okay, but he's starting to lose more.
Bailiness might go down.
It might, and he would, of course, stop centrifugal hooks from researching.
He's focusing it. He's focusing it. Transfuse goes in, and he keeps it alive. TLO!
Alright, so he barely saves it. aLive had some advanced notice about the Ling counterattack, by the way, because he has a supply depot, so we did have a couple units try and respond to that, but then the banelings rolled in. There's actually chaos going on every which way, but TLO so far is the one that's losing out everywhere. He's losing a 4th base, he lost 26 drones.
Yeah, it feels bad, man.
think TLO's just lost his game, actually, as his counter-attack is not working. Did not work. It's over.
aLive did lose all the medevacs that were attacking, though, and his momentum shift certainly isn't... I don't know if it's great enough to kill TLO here and now, but he is... You know, being down 30 workers like this, you're left only really with the option all in and get some damage done. Make this a more even game. Lings dart across the map, but there's no real advantage to doing this. Marines are waiting. GG.
Well, you certainly can't blame TLO for the very first attack. After seeing someone go for a 3cc build, you know the protection's not very strong. But I think if you're unable to get into the main base, then that's actually already a failure. Even if he had killed, really, all the SCVs in the natural, they hadn't been pulled. If the army was still alive and the main wasn't compromised, I think the Terran still gets the better end of that trade.
Well, the upside is it's going to be TLO's map pick going to the next game. I'm going to hop onto my alternate account and see if this works any better. Stutter Edition hype. I would be really sad if this was the case because I've got all like the pros of my real ID on my account and it made it so easy to join games. I won't be able to do that anymore.
Yeah. Do I have to like spawn you in or whatever? Just invite you?
I don't know. I'm going to just try seeing if you can invite me first and maybe spawning. I don't know. This is the science aspect of it.
Will I finally get that spawning pool portrait?
I think you have to actually play the game for that. I don't think you can just invite somebody to a lobby.
Alright.
That would be too easy, zombie.
Not that I ever use it.
Alright. I have no friends online.
Feels bad.
I just got like a bajillion achievements though. Alright, can you message me your real ID? I'll add you.
Ooh, on Skype?
You know what? Actually, I just joined BaseTradeTV, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest. Okay, who are you?
Where's Zombie Senpai? Add friend.
Are you Captain Fingers? Oh.
Captain Fingers? Am I Captain Fingers? Ugh.
I don't know. You would name yourself something weird.
Alright, let's see if this works. If it does, it's a test. Okay. So yeah, FYI guys, I don't actually have like a second StarCraft account. It's just like a test thing. Let's see if this works. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Shout out to Vesuvius, giving us that tweet there where he's got his TV set up. Look at it. We're gonna put this on. If you guys ever tweet us cool things, I love showing it off on stream. Check this shit out.
Wait, did you join as Doom even though I invited you as Wildfire?
I think it's because that's my account name, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, getting to the game here in a second, but check this out. He got his TV set up, his home stereo system. He's got an N64 under this too, and what looks like a toaster next to it.
Just silent. What is that? I mean, really, it's the game console, but which one?
It looks like a PlayStation port, like the first PlayStation from the controller ports. Oh no! Oh no! Mistakes were made. Oh,
you're on default. You can hear that, didn't we? So good. So good.
Spawning here in the top left. He's red. He's Terran. It's alive.
The saddest I've ever heard you.
Oh.
In the bottom right has the blizzard. Liquid TLO.
So interesting note. You know how we've been blaming Blizzard for the clan tags being messed up?
Yes.
Control N actually displays the clan tags correctly, so it might actually be on GameHeart and not Blizzard.
Well then.
Thank you, by the way, to Papa Mitch for the 29-month resub. And by the way, I am sitting on 40 FPS, so I don't know that this necessarily improved it that much. Feels bad, man. Seb UMD for the Twitch Prime. New sub hype! Thank you very much for being generous enough to hook us up with your Twitch Prime account. Quick shout-outs to that, I guess. Number one goes to the sponsors of this cup. The Corsair Cup is brought to you guys by Corsair Gaming every single week. Thank you so much for allowing us to make this happen. Secondly, if you guys use Amazon Prime, maybe you're one of the lurkers who don't have a Twitch account. Maybe you're just listening to the broadcast, but hear me out, okay? Because if you make a Twitch account, which is free, it will take you no time at all, you go to twitchprime.com, they'll actually show you how to walk through how to connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. And if you do that, you get a lot of cool free benefits, but one of the best ones is every month you can subscribe to a channel for free. That's essentially giving free money just for having your Twitch Prime account activated with your Amazon Prime account.
Yeah.
And of course, while we would love greatly for you guys to subscribe to us, you don't necessarily even have to sub to us. Go sub to Nate or Wardy or whoever your heart does desire. But we would certainly appreciate if you would sub to us.
Yeah.
I can't handle this UI. I'm going to have to stay like triple zoomed out to compensate for its horrible design. I can make it disappear, but then we get no mini-map, and that totally sucks.
Oh,
are you watching the delay?
Sweet. I am, yes.
God damn it, Zombie Grub.
And the SL overlay guy.
Feels bad, man. That's all I can say. Are you listening to the sound on the delay as well?
No, people are making
the sound in chat. Yeah, I know.
The sound in chat.
I was aiming for that girl who sounds like the race cars / whales.
I know.
Okay, so other side of the map, we did get a SCV pick, and a mule got taken down too. Not too shabby for 4 slow lings.
Oh god.
I'd appreciate if you would stop appreciating this so much. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Sorry. So, what's interesting about the combo of builds that aLive has done, if it wasn't scouted anyway, is that you just saw them go for a 3cc build, even though it's on New Gettysburg and that's predicted, that's predictable, that's the word. You might not, you might misread this build, right? You see 2 Hellions, actually 3, and you might be like, oh, I guess they're going for another 3cc build. Well, you'd be wrong. And this is so common, actually, to follow up with a Hellbat build after or before a 3cc build, that I would be really surprised if TLO isn't prepared for it. I'm actually like a little, like I'm judging aLive a little for doing it. It seems to rarely get damage done because it is something that is scouted. If you're going for more than 2 Hellions, Zergs are already like, I don't know, man.
Like enlisted Reb, by the way. My name's Rifkin and I cast games in default. I can't deal with you guys. I hate having a stream delay sometimes really badly.
You've been demoted to Sergeant Finger.
Sergeant Fingers. Yo, aLive got a considerable amount of SCVs with this. I didn't realize.
Whoa,
like,
whoa, TLO.
This is a lot of healing on one side of it, but it's a lot of repairing that goes hand in hand with it. So while normally the medevac is pushed off and can't heal, it's not in this case. The SCV's got her covered, and even if the medevac gets attacked, they can heal the medevac.
I think that's the most annoying part for the Zerg, to be honest. The medevac getting healed.
The problem is, though, SCVs are easily banling to pawn. Oh, no!
Yeah, I thought he was going to Hellbats. Okay, he's going to get big enough turn on, I think. Yeah, enough wins for freaking. Alright, this was nicely done. I was a little bit worried, to be honest, because TLO, I thought only had enough gas for like 3 banelings, but he did have enough for 7, and that was a pretty key number. And now aLive is so far behind. Like, he pulled SCVs, so we saw them die. He didn't seem to be producing SCVs either. He's like, it's such a low SCV count, okay? That's the point. And TLO should be able to run away with this game.
So, I'm noticing game zones on this account are also not balanced, so you may not have been able to hear us while those explosions are happening.
Oh, well.
I would certainly love if TLO ran away with this game, because then it would give me a chance to see a game 3 with a proper overlay.
Well, I mean, it hasn't even worked. What are you going to blame next to default overlay?
Look,
maybe.
There's just nothing good about the default overlay, okay? The only reason I would ever want to do the default overlay is if I was trying to mimic, like, Husky StarCraft or something like.
Well, I'm just saying, like, do you want to continue on Wildfire?
No, absolutely not. And it doesn't seem to be helping as much with the FPS as I was hoping. I mean, it is helping. There's no doubt about that, but we're still sitting at like a hard 30, which feels bad, man. Bunker and the Hellion. A little bit of SimCity thanks to Command Center. Keep that wall alive. Nicely done.
I never realized this. My mind is being blown right now, but totally off topic.
Go on.
So someone tweeted at me yesterday, like, I rarely see people with the Z as their first letter in their Twitter handle, so I just have to recheck to see if I accidentally tweeted something when I see you pop up. I was like, that's interesting. I guess many people don't have a lot of Z names. My main characters in Overwatch, man, both start with Z. Maybe you just really like the letter Z, yo. Like Zombie Grub, Zenyatta, Zarya. No one else is named Z?
What about...
I'd probably play them too.
What about League of Legends? You got Zed.
I did not play Zed.
The question is that Canadian or is that Chinese or whatever?
Oh, because of that, I get it. Oh, you. Dude, I watched yesterday's League of Legends tournament, you know, because the World Finals are going on right now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I recognize some of these names. I'm hip. I'm cool.
I feel bad.
Sin? I know that.
I haven't played League in like a year and a half, and I've been playing recently, like, not even because of like Worlds, just with a couple of friends. And
it's very good. It's a good game to play friends with because everyone plays it.
Yeah, until your friends start throwing the game and then you want to kill yourself. You're like, great.
Yo, I play probably totally defunct characters now. I would not even be able to play it anymore.
Alright, attack, by the way, shut down. We do have the attack on the other side of the map. Bust through that bunker. Loud noises! Not enough Marines to necessarily hold this off right now. Production might just cover it. But aLive's not pulling back with his offensive line. It looks like actually 3 Marines will be enough with the SCVs. Costs him 5. Pushing through, though. Didn't come home, and it still goes to this gold base. Big Shell's got to go to Kilps. 31, by the way, for the Twitch Prime sub hype. Thank you very much.
I heard that. I didn't hear anything else.
Yeah. Loud noises. Thank you so much, Kilps, for that
Skype.
sub.
Do you want to try calling me?
I don't know. I don't really know how to call girls. Like, I get their numbers, but then what do you do after that?
I'm sure you had your experience with the call girls.
Okay, you're getting hung up on. To get her called back in a sec.
I am fire today. I'm on fire.
Girl, you are lit. You're gonna get fired at this rate. Yeah. Alright, top right attack, lots of lings. No full wall off. aLive never replaced that bunker, so this could be problems in a lot of different ways.
Oh gosh. Oh, Marines. Poor Marines. You don't have any upgrades. You didn't even have combat shields because aLive's forgotten them.
TLO, by the way, has gotten spine crawlers. Those buy plenty of time for the Banelings to roll in. GG's get called, and TLO ties it up 1-1.
So you're gonna have to change your overlay.
Yeah, well, first off, I already did, but I'm gonna just let that form go back to my account. It's gonna be a lot easier. Just go back to Rifkin. Even before, by the way, Battle.net bans because like, there's a lot of suspicious activity. You seem to be logging in and out of your account a lot. We've locked your account for your safety. Like that one time I got banned on stream. That was so awkward. But okay. Let me get back on.
Twitch Prime sub! Hawk! 2005.
Hawk!
Was that when you were born or when you joined? Please don't tell me it was when you were
I can't
born.
make a hawk noise. I'm trying to make a hawk noise. It sounds like a... No.
What the fuck is happening?
That actually sounds like the background noise of something you hear in like the jungle, right? I can't. I'm glad.
Make to explain the sound like the dinosaurs and like
I'm really glad you can't see me because I'm making really dumb arm motions too, like a bird flapping.
I was doing what is that dinosaur called that was in Jurassic Park? The one that like spits venom and kills the fat guy.
I don't know. I've never seen Jurassic Park.
Have you really?
I've seen memes of Jurassic Park, clever girl and whatnot.
Wow, I don't think I've ever known this about you.
Did you know that the dinosaurs evolved into chickens? So this is my impression of a dinosaur. Cuckoo ka-cha! Cuckoo ka-cha!
Thank you to Hazar for the Twitch Prime sub.
Yeah, sorry, thank you so much. Zombie Grub, you are working your way for a big ol' slap across the face at this rate. She's like, I joined the lobby in the middle of her basically outing me on fucking swapping accounts.
TLO was, I don't know.
Feels bad, man.
He's like a magician. He just pulls it out of me, man.
Whoa! Phrasing. Hello.
How was that phrasing? What does he pull out of me? That's
go ahead and think about that for a second.
Man.
It's like, is it in yet?
Okay. All right, I get you now.
Oh, I got
I was
you
like,
it's tied up.
This is going in a very gruesome direction, but then you brought it back to just loot.
I really fucking hate watching BaseTradeTV. The casters always talk about nothing. It's that fucking Rifkin guy always derailed their broadcast. Zombie brings such good analysis. Fuck you, guy. Reddit guy. This is one of those moments I'm gonna cite to you in the future. I'm writing this down in my little handbook. It's like,
yo, you're the one that brought it to lewd, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. That part's my bad. I accept full responsibility. But everything else over the last 10 minutes has been all you, girl. All you. But okay. Game number 3. It's tied up 1-1. And in the bottom right side, we got the Red Terran. Hailing from Korea, it's aLive.
The top left, as the blue Zerg, he is TLO.
So there's been some pretty, we'll say, considerable and good and thought out play through this, but unfortunately nothing nearly as cool as the last time we saw these two play in that finals. But regardless, it still ties it up 1-1, and we hopefully we'll get the best game possible. King Sejong is actually a really great map for either of these players. On one hand, you got things like Liberators that can take advantage of them. Sorry, Grub, hello? She just disappeared. She just...
It's in heat.
No, I'm done. It's all you. Have a good time. Shout out Corsair, thanks for sponsoring us. Good time. See you later.
What is this? An NA cast? Jesus. We have one NA player playing, and it just dissolved into an NA cast.
Neeb ruined us. This is all Neeb's fault. Okay.
Yeah, that was too funny.
You guys don't understand. Like, I've got Zomgrub's camera in the corner of the screen, and normally I can't see it, but because she's being cheeky, I've got it up, and she just face plants down on her desk, completely disappears from the camera. It's like she fell over and tripped while sitting down.
Standing up.
Standing up, excuse me. Anyways, what was I saying before? Something great about TLO or aLive, I'm sure. Fantastic players. Whatever. You've ruined it. I can't.
About their last series, and that's really good. They went to the ace match.
Yes, sure. I don't have it in me anymore. I can't.
Okay, I'm done.
You are done. Stick a fork in Zombie Grove. She's done, guys. A Liberator. Okay, I was going to talk about Liberators, strategy, and this, that, and the other. I was going to mention as well, this is King Sejong. We've got the back rocks that have been almost removed from play. Nobody really goes for the back rocks anymore because Zerg players have been so diligent, adamant, and good about knocking down those rocks. But TLO will stick in some lings on him. Hasn't quite got it down yet. So this SCV will scout and see maybe there's still a chance to build a bunker back here.
I would say there really isn't. By the time you get your tank over there, which is also a way at the medevac and the actual distance over, it's gonna get so low. I think it's gonna be worth it. But he's building the bunker, so never mind, he's gonna try. This is really falling out of fashion. Really, truly falling out of fashion. At TLO, maybe he makes a mistake. Maybe he just assumes it won't be a pressure play and he doesn't put enough lings on it as soon as he needs to. Maybe his queen should also be attacking it right now. I don't know.
This reminds me of that tweet I made, by the way, the Twitch chat in a nutshell. It's like, you, the bike gets crashed because of you, and everyone's like fucking ripped it. I need to go find that tweet. But okay, rocks are being broken down, but this aLive got the time to build the bunker. So tank sits up in a pretty nice spot. It'll be really hard to get a surround on top of this. First blood was actually a ling getting popped off. That's a bit surprising to see. And while the rocks are down, it's not an easy path for TLO to clear this up. What's really cool about this too, by the way, is the way aLive did this was, even if this was like post-patch, you know, tanks are nerfed, you know, he didn't carry the tank over sieged. He brought it over unsieged with a bunch of Marines.
Oh. I mean, the bunker actually being able to get up certainly adds a lot more presence to this attack, as opposed to just kind of willy-nilly trying to throw a tank over here, rocks or not. But it's still something that TLO, he could bust just forward. He's going to try and go for the medevac, actually, to get the tank a secured kill.
Oh my god, I can't believe he even risked picking that up, but that tank's not going to kill a lot of these lings. Marines can retreat into the second bunker, but he doesn't rally them through. He just salvages both. A mistake was made, and he has to give up all of his presence here on the front ground, or the front lines. Yeah. On the battle line.
TLO did sacrifice a couple of queens, a handful of lings, and pushed off what I imagine wanted to be a bit faster of a lair, but seriously, it's like a 5:30 lair, it's not that late. And I guess he had to bring all of his queens, so unfortunately Liberator's gonna get something. Yeah, literally a drone and an egg and a larva. That's not ideal. But I would put TLO in a better position. I mean, aLive also pushed off a lot of his own tech here. You know, his third base isn't done. His stim and his upgrades are only really just started. So it's a long time for TLO not to have to worry about being attacked. And that is going to lead to, I think, a better recovery process for TLO.
Well, lots of lings poised around the third. Just going to confirm that there is, in fact, no third base done yet for aLive. aLive's building it now, as we can see, but TLO doesn't have Overlord scouting to know that just yet. Burrow's going to finish up too, and looks like the tank will pick it off, so it's not a problem. Burrow's going to be really nice as far as just maneuvering around the map, but also just planting a couple lings around the outside of aLive's base. You know, you can't leave Overlords out there to scout, but you can certainly leave lings burrowed. No one's really scanning for those too easily. I do wish to God he would repair this medevac, though. It's killing me looking at this.
I think I'm very surprised he hasn't. aLive has in the past repaired things, you know, Liberators, medevacs, what have you. So him setting so easily not to repair this one's really surprising. What?
Shout out to J Free Trader. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. You're awesome.
But of course, defensively, the chances of something going over here and killing a medevac is very, very low. So I guess he's okay in that department. I still wish he would repair it for later. It's stim's about to finish up, as well as his upgrades. Combat shields should start shortly after, but like I'm saying, like TLO, I think has a bit better of a recovery process. So he's at 65 drones, 67 almost. He doesn't have as good of upgrades because his +1 melee was started a little bit late, but he's still pretty close to it. And he is on his way to infestors already. So aLive has got to gear up, get his tanks ready to go, have his production set up and his third base secured, which TLO is going to actually look to attack to stall out this push. And with all that in mind, I think TLO might be able to have infestors by the time aLive can actually push across the map.
Well, not that many banelings. He does burrow some, and this was actually okay. So right there is an example that was really cool out of TLO last time. It's not that he was setting up a bunch of burrowed banelings. You know, you'll have one or two camping around some of the ramps and the classic chokes, and that's why aLive's scanning. He sees nothing, but he's scanning to see where those banelings are. But TLO was doing a lot of really good things where he was burrowing in the middle of fights, and aLive wouldn't see it. I would barely see it, and that's where he would get the really big hits off. And that for me was like that level of control, that extra level of like, oh my gosh, he knows what he's doing. But unfortunately, right now, he doesn't have a massive amount of banelings. He doesn't have a massive amount of lanes. He's running around the map and just trying to keep aLive from pushing. He can't really cause a lot of damage, nor can he really stall out a fight fully and entirely on its own. So just running around the outskirts and trying to play guerrilla warfare tactics is probably the best choice for TLO right now.
Oh, that's gonna get some damage done. It doesn't actually kill the Marines. So I'm surprised that aLive still isn't able to get a actual push going here. He scans ahead, sees the banelings, but TLO has been doing a really great job forcing him to scan, forcing him to look around for the lane counterattacks, which this one does not really get much set up, but again pulls aLive back. So TLO, I thought he was going to go for infestors, actually goes for a hive and is able to buy enough time to get the hive finished. So he might be able to get the ultras.
Ultras will certainly be cool if he goes to it. Broodlords have been preferable for a lot of players, given the present situation of what Terran goes for. We'll see which direction TLO is feeling more comfortable with, but once again, it's really cool watching the banelings be used the way they are. You guys it'll be hard for me to point this out every single time it happens because there'll be some split-second decision making, but there will be these moments where TLO will burrow in the middle of retreating back, in the middle of taking a giant fight. aLive has to basically scan everywhere. I talked about this last time we cast him too. Like at some point, one Raven is worth more than 400 scans.
That's certainly true. It's just always so difficult to keep the Raven alive, and it does mess up your controls a little bit. From going to, like, I mean, obviously pro gamers have the control in a big way to do a lot of different things. You know, they control their ghosts correctly when most players don't, or, you know, they boost the medevacs back when they're microing, like that type of stuff. But to have them go from never having to press tab to hit stim to having to press tab to hit stim actually, like, really messes you up. So
it does.
There's a lot of reasons to actually be apprehensive about going to a Raven, including swapping off your starport, losing Liberator time, losing medevac time. There's so much, and you just won't see it.
This is really funny. He can't unburrow these to come in from behind. The Widowmine will take him out. But without class, I thought that was without dead ass for a second for some reason. Without class, just Twitch Prime sub does. Thank you very much.
For sure.
Of course, there's that scan, sees some of the banelings. He knows that TLO is looking for baits. And I mean, for TLO, every time he forces aLive to scan, keep in mind, guys, that's the same as not getting 270 minerals. I really do look at it as losing 270. A lot of people prefer to look at it as not getting. Either way, scans are expensive and not something you can easily afford to do too much of. But TLO... there was a drop up here to the north while this goes on. A little bit late to respond, but the Ultra's on deck. Kitey's Plating going to be starting soon, or finishing soon, about halfway finished. So even with this many Marauders, the question is really going to be, can aLive actually kite those Ultras? Can he get the kills he wants? Liberator's going to be an interesting add-on to this. A couple more banelings brought here to the side, looking for hits on the Marines, not necessarily the Marauders.
The amount of time that TLO has been able to get to Ultralist, by the way, has been insane. Like, seriously, This is the first time aLive's really been on the other side of the map since that first tank push.
Well, this is what I love watching with TLO. Like, again, the guerrilla warfare tactics. The problem is, TLO's not dealing with conventional things. Like, 2 Marines have killed out 16 drones up here to the north. Base down here goes down, and while TLO's doing a lot of great things up to this point, he's really starting to make these mistakes. These little careless errors that are costing him greatly.
These Ultras are going to be able to chomp through just bio. They don't even have medevac support. A drop might kill more drones, but I think aLive might just get killed.
It's a hard question to make because there's actually no anti-air. aLive could technically just lift everything.
No, that's true. The Spire is he going to try and hit snipes? No, he actually went for the Ultra Scavenger initially, so not going to be able to get any. Ultra gets to do the cleanup job.
Oh my god, look at those corpses go flying.
Yep, they went flying, but now with the Spire, TLO should have all the answers.
Yeah,
now they're both losing a ton of workers.
Yeah, I mean, TLO did some fantastic counterattack damage. It's more expensive to lose the Ultras than is the Marines, so they both lose upwards of 30 workers apiece, leaving them with not much, but TLO being left with a lot more than aLive.
He certainly has a bit better of an army supply, but I would say a bit better of an army. Like, the Liberators have to be in position, which they are right now.
He's actually, if he just kills the rest of these SCVs, to be worth that. Ultra's derping out pretty hard as he wants to keep it out of the liberation zone, but just sacrifice it for aLive's last workers remaining.
There we go. Yeah, I don't think that aLive can hold even it's like an even army supply, right? But it really isn't. Ultras don't take that into consideration.
I mean, aLive went Super Saiyan. He did a lot of multiple drops, and it looked for a moment that like TLO was going to be in a lot more trouble than he was, but finally consolidating, cleaning up the forces. He's back to mining now. Queen's going to try to take out the Liberator. I mean, in every way that should be possible, TLO should win this game. I mean, with 15 workers, aLive is also supply blocked. There's just no way he could make another army. But this goes back to some of the cool moves out of TLO, right? Like, we didn't see a lot of crazy baneling hits. There wasn't like a 30 Marine kill off 2 banelings or anything like that. But again, the tactics to run around the side, to force aLive to burn like 19 scans. I wish I could see how many scans were spent this game. Because he spent a ton of scans just moving around. Like, he would not be able to move his Marines without scanning first.
It was certainly a considerable amount. I think that besides the actual money not gained by aLive, the pressure not gained by him to have to constantly scan and wait for the scan to reveal it, and then to be pulled back by other lings darting around the map was far greater to aLive's eventual defeat here, which I think he is pretty much dead. Is that he just never got any pressure on TLO. I mean, TLO played a pretty greedy timing on the Ultras. If aLive had just been like, you know, F it, I'm gonna push, there's a chance that he would have gotten killed, but the chance usually isn't that high when you're playing Ling Banling. You know, unfortunately for the Terran, if they just say F it and they give up their third base, for instance, which would have been lost with the TLO's counterattack going on, they say F it and go on to creep against Banelings, and they have to have some amazing control to actually make it work. So defensively, Zerg's almost always in that better position when it comes to fast races, I guess. Like, not base races, but just literally, like, timing here.
I would like to report some of the other results while we've been waiting on this. We've actually got what is, in my opinion, going to be like the sickest semifinal setup we've seen in a while. So Super won the top half of the bracket. The winner of this goes on to fight against Super. Pros and Ultralisk, are you real? Winner of this goes on to fight against Super. Bottom side, you got Euthermal winning the middle part of the bracket, and he will likely be playing Neeb. So Euthermal, Neeb, Super, TLO. That's going to make for a really good finals, no matter which combination of the four that is.
Yeah. Protoss, Zerg, Terran, Protoss. 2 Protoss as well.
Oh me, oh my. It also kind of sucks knowing that this game in particular was a good one, and I would love to share this with people, but with the first 3 minutes of the game, I probably won't.
Oh. Like, why? Nothing.
Why, Rifkin? Don't you want everyone to know what you sound like when you're in heat?
No, it's not good, but no, I'm good.
Good job.
So,
oh gosh.
one bailing hit got all those SCVs so very low. These 4 lings killed the remaining 13. I mean, there's 7 SCVs left, and they're pretty much all right here. These lings just unburrow and kill the last few remnants of aLive's army. I will state, though, like, aLive has a pretty fantastic army. Like, Liberators are not easily beaten. The army's kind of covered by them, but at some point, everything here from TLO could just A-move in.
Yeah. If he ever gets a surround on aLive's army, it's totally game over. He really is depending on his Liberators to try and win this game.
If these lings kill all the SCVs, then he could come back home with them, yeah, maybe get that surround, that sandwich. But at the same time, Adrenal Gland, lings, plus 3 weapon upgrades, they chew through buildings, and killing production works just as well. We even had a Cryptic Caustic spraying the factory? What?
Just one, though. Helping. He's gonna chew through every single production facility. It's not like aLive can really use him. He's also supply blocked now, so even if he got 20 more minerals somehow, I couldn't build a Marine.
It's kind of like it feels bad for aLive now, though, because this is totally now TLO twice. Twice TLO's beaten him.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there is certainly something that, like, you know, in his mind right now, it's just like, man, I can't believe I lost this guy twice. I thought I learned from my mistakes last time.
He burrows. aLive can't actually afford to scan. One command center is floating, the other's got the energy for mules. There's one SCV, it's mining an expired geyser right now. Feels bad, man.
The last stand, there's enough corruptors to take out all those liberators.
There's enough
aLive,
corruptors.
you are dead.
Yeah. There's actually enough corruptors to make it so this game ends through building kills, not through army kills.
Good.
I'm like, aLive just can't fathom what's happening here. His
Apparently not.
Look at the APM differences, by the way. TLO spiking up to his classic 1500, aLive on like 200. GG.
GG. There
GG! TLO, ladies and gentlemen, will take the series and move on to fight against Super. We also have Euthermal versus Neeb as predicted. We'll find out which of these two will be casting first, but we will go to a commercial break, and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Thank you for watching this week's Corsair Cup. Once again, big thank yous to Corsair for making this possible. Click the links down below, guys. Give them some love. And that's the best way to say thank you to the sponsors. We'll see you soon.